So, green roofs, it's the hot new thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How new is it?
It's not that new. Germany was really one of the pioneers of the modern green roofing movement, and in about the 1970s, they started to implement green roofs on a wide scale because they had stormwater management issues. And it spread throughout Europe and became more prevalent. In North America, it's really only been catching on for about 10 or 15 years. And we kind of got in at a good point. The live roof system was first introduced to the marketplace in 2007. And it was a good timing for the market, and we've been able to grow as the industry within North America has grown.
Why should we be planting green roofs?
Why shouldn't you? Actually, it really depends on who you are, what might motivate you. In municipalities, there's a lot still for stormwater management. They act as a sponge and they tend to absorb the water on the rooftop. If you're a corporation, you might want to offer a place of respite for your employees so that they can take breaks on site and not
get
leave.
Up on the roof, right?
Yes, and actually there's a growing body of research in biophilia in how humans, they benefit from interaction with nature, and our built environment tends to separate us from nature. So green roofs, they help to offer a way to bring that into the urban environment, and employers are seeing benefits. They're seeing increased productivity.
So it's not just about decoration.
No, and a lot of people, they misunderstand. They see that it's an aesthetic component. It really is a functional component, and it offers such a broad array of benefits that sometimes it's hard for us to focus in on one single one for each client. But of course, aesthetic is a big part of it, and what's been traditional and what people associate green roofs with is often the sedum genus. But you can go so much further beyond that. You can incorporate your natives, and you can get your herbaceous perennials. Grasses, of course, yes. A whole host of grasses are adapted to the rooftop environment.
So I see you're doing more than just green roofs, you're doing living walls.
Yes, actually, so the living wall division was implemented in 2012, and almost as soon as we came out with live roof, we had a lot of designers that liked it, and so they were asking us what we recommend for green walls. And so we started researching and testing them, and what we found is we didn't recommend them. We couldn't find anything that we thought worked well. We actually got to the point where we said, don't ask us about green walls, they don't work. And then we got an epiphany. We thought, okay, why don't they work? Well, they don't work because many of them are trying to misorient the plants. They're growing them sideways. That's against nature. In nature, Your roots grow down, your leaves grow up. And the other thing, the other thing that we saw is that irrigation design was really different from nature. Many of them have a drip tube at the top, and they water it through a column of soil. So we thought, okay, how can we make it a more natural growing environment? So we took the proven technology of window boxes, which have been around for centuries, and we sought to somewhat engineer them to work very well and to last for a long time. And then we corrected the orientation, and then we provided a fresh water supply to each planter. So either outdoor applications, it's a little spray nozzle like rain, and in indoor applications, it's drip emitters so that you don't have any spillage onto your really nice floors. So, and with the live wall division, we've seen a lot more interest in terms of, from a marketing standpoint, it really makes a statement. So it is something where you're getting that biophilic reason for implementing them, but a lot of corporations and businesses just want to say, we're green, here's our hallmark.
Explain what you mean by biophilic.
Okay, so biophilia is
sounds like it's not a condition, right?
No, yeah. It is humans' innate need to connect with nature. And what we're finding is that there are negative health impacts, there are losses in productivity, and there's increased stress levels and even mental health issues as a result of being separated from nature in our current built environment. So there's a growing body of research that shows that if we want to really optimize the human experience, that we need to bring nature back into the built environment. So
we might as well start at the roof.
Yeah, the roof or the wall, whatever you have access to. And actually, we used to talk mostly about stormwater management, and green roofs increase the life of the membrane because they protect it from the elements. And we used to talk about energy savings because they naturally cool the roof. Now, we're really switching the conversation, and we're talking about how it makes patients heal faster. It makes employees have reduced absenteeism. It makes them more productive. It makes you feel better when you're surrounded by nature. And it seems really intuitive. You know, I think people know, like, you go for a walk in the forest and you feel so much better than if you were walking in a parking lot.
Well, I know if I was on this roof behind you on the poster, I know I'd be chilling.
Yeah, and actually employers have found that by having this area that's really comfortable, that their employees don't leave for breaks. They'll be more likely to stay. So instead of taking maybe an hour lunch, they might take a 45-minute lunch.
I get that.
Yeah, so they're seeing all of these benefits that are the hardest thing for us is it's harder to quantify them, but that's where this growing body of research, they're going out and they're assigning numbers to these, and they make very compelling arguments for incorporating plants in the built environment.
So let me ask one last question. How did you get involved with green roofs? Do you have a horticulture background, or how did you come to living roofs and green walls?
It was really by accident. I actually studied economics and international affairs, and I moved back to my hometown, and I needed work. And this was right, as we were getting ready to head into the recession, and I temped for Hortec, which is the parent company of Live Roof and Live Wall, and I loved it. I fell in love with plants, I fell in love with sustainable architecture, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And it was a way for me to apply actually some of the economic reasoning that I studied to a whole new industry that's not always part of the conversation. So trying to quantify the benefits of this for clientele has been a really exciting thing for me. So I've actually benefited from getting into the industry when it was new. So I got to learn as the industry learned, and I just love what I do.
Oh my God, that's a great story. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
Okay.
Yeah.